Alright, so let's just settle into our meditation posture. Feet either flat on the floor with something underneath your feet like a little cushion, or sitting in the usual cross-legged position on some kind of fairly firm surface with a cushion underneath your sit bones, or just something to raise you up slightly so you're not, the pelvis isn't sort of tipping back. So ideally you want your shoulders of your hips and the ears in line with the shoulders. Hands in the meditation mudra, thumbs are touching. So let's just imagine our spine is a string of pearls of light stretching from the base of the spine all the way up through the crown of the head. You can imagine someone is above you or behind you, very gently lengthening your spine. And just take a deep breath and relax. So you may have had a stressful day. So sometimes when we're in a stressful situation, we tend to constrict our breathing. We fold our shoulders in, we kind of get defensive. So we're just trying to just open out and lengthen and breathe. And the head is slightly tipped forward, the eyes are down, tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth. Relax the scalp of the head, the top of the head, the scalp, the crown, the forehead, the eyes, the nose, the cheeks, the area around the mouth, and your jaw. Let's just bring our attention to the back of the head and relax the scalp and your ears and your temples. And relax the back of the neck, shoulders, the upper thoracic area, the spine. Just imagine releasing the muscles in the back. It's actually quite difficult to feel them unless you're regularly moving the back, like if you're a dancer or if you're doing a lot of yoga. Just imagine the muscles releasing. Relax the throat, the chest, and the belly, arms, hands, fingers, legs, and feet and toes. And just bring the mind to the breath. Just notice the sensation of the air. It's a fact of life, we're breathing in. Notice the sensation as you're breathing in through the nostrils. Slightly warmer air as you're breathing out. If there's any sound in your environment, just allow those sounds to be there. They're part of your environment. Try not to have the mind run off to investigate. And then the thoughts that are arising, they'll abide for a moment and then fall, so try not to engage, sort of run off down a track with a story. Or one thing that we like to do is make stories up and then believe in them, and then we take action based on complete fantasy. So just bring to mind all the people of your life, your beloveds, the ones who really would prefer to spend most of your time with than the ones that you find irritating. They're part of your karmic network right now. And then the strangers. Just remember again that they all have this wish to be happy and the wish not to suffer. and this incredible, amazing capacity for brilliance, compassion and wisdom, kindness. These are the qualities we tend to only see in our own loved ones. But the ones that we don't like very much, they have loved ones and mothers and fathers and sisters and brothers and cousins and people in their life who love them, who see those qualities in them that we can't see. So we do this meditation this evening for them, for all sentient beings, and for ourselves as we move along our path to enlightenment. So just remember, there is no negativity that can't be purified. Just before I continue, is the sound okay? Okay, I just had a message someone couldn't hear. Okay, welcome Victor and Mordit. So this is a psychological process we're engaging in, this purification practice. The negativity that we create it with our mind. And this purification process, during this meditation, we turn that around and we instead create positivity. So we're planting positive seeds, removing negative ones. So just bring to mind, with the first of the four opponent powers, something that happened maybe today or the last few days that you maybe feel some regret for. Regret is about taking responsibility. It's not about guilt. And of course, what follows on from responsibility is this idea that we're not going to do it again, or we're going to try and refrain from it, which is what we'll come to in the fourth of the four opponent powers. But just think of something that happened today. And then think of specific actions, perhaps, of your body, your speech. Maybe also your mind. Maybe there's some negative self-talk going on. So maybe you can just have regret for maybe the way you talk to yourself. And the reason we regret is based on the logic of karma. We experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions. So having harmed others, we will necessarily experience suffering in the future because we understand what suffering is all about. We don't necessarily want to invite any more. So for this reason, logically, it makes sense to pull out these negative seeds before they ripen as future suffering. So think, I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, broken my vows, because I do not want the future suffering. And we also regret our delusions, our anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others. So think, I'm sick of this suffering, and so whom can I turn to? And here we come to the power of reliance. And the first part of this is refuge. So we turn to the Buddha, the doctor, who has the methods that we can use to purify. And we're not asking Guru Vajrasattva to forgive us necessarily. We are wanting to use his methods to heal ourselves. So visualize Guru Vajrasattva above the crown of your head, and you can imagine, if you have a teacher or a lama or a spiritual advisor, this is this person, the mind of this person manifesting in this aspect, this male Buddha form for your benefit. It just makes it a little bit more personal for us. And he's made of radiant, blissful white light, sitting in a cross-legged position on a white lotus and a moon disk. He has this beautiful, radiant face, and lotus-like eyes, peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all the people of your life. He has a sweet red mouth, and his hair is black and held up in a top knot. He has this 5-pointed crown on his head, encrusted with jewels and scarves and silks and jewels on his body and arms and legs around his ankles, all sparkling and light, silk blowing in the wind, and made. This is a light body we're looking at. Above the crown of our head, try and feel this powerful energy. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom. The right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion, and they're being crossed represents the union of these, which symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So, just the next little section is on compassion, and in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings. So the very beings we have harmed, and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. So think maybe of somebody you've harmed recently. Could have been just a small harm. Most of us aren't kind of raging maniacs here, going out harming people on purpose. We're all trying to work on ourselves. But sometimes, because we have delusions, and we have a bad day, and we maybe are impatient or tired, we do things that might hurt others. So maybe bring something to mind. And then maybe if you've hurt anybody since beginningless time, guaranteed we have. And then remember those who have harmed you and have compassion for them, because they will suffer as a result of the harm they've done to you. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice for the sake of all these sentient beings. And the next is the power of the remedy, and this is the medicine, the doing of the practice. So first of all, purification of the body. And imagine Guru Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, very, very forcefully, from his heart. It arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps coming and forces out of your lower orifices all the negativities of your body and disappears into space. It kind of comes out of your body in this form of inky liquid and then disappears totally. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dira Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Siddham Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dira Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Siddham Shriyam Guruhum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dira Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Siddham Shriyam Guruhum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dira Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Siddham Shriyam Guruhum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dira Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Siddham Shriyam Guruhum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dira Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Siddham Shriyam Guruhum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dira Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimbi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Siddham Shriyam Karuhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is completely purified, and think there's no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. And next is the purification of the speech. And Guru Vajrasattva now very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra. It arcs around and it pours into you through the crown, your crown, filling your entire body. And it pours in, it pours in, it pours in, and eventually pushes up, this time, to the top part of your body and overflows out of the top all the negativities of your speech. So imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying and talking about others behind their back and getting other people to agree with you. All this is completely purified by the powerful nectar filling you. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Siddham Shriyam Karuhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Siddham Shriyam Karuhum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Siddham Shriyam Karuhum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Siddham Shriyam Karuhum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Siddham Shriyam Karuhum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Siddham Shriyam Karuhum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Siddham Shriyam Karuhum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified. And imagine it's not possible to do anything other than be of benefit now to others with your speech. So that just imagine that everything that comes out of your mouth is of benefit to whoever hears it. So next is a purification of the mind. And Guru Vajrasattva now very compassionately sends powerful beams of laser light, this time from his heart chakra. And they arc around and enter your crown and fill your entire being. Just imagine it's the same as when you walk into a room and switch on a light. The minute the light from Guru Vajrasattva's heart touches your heart, fills your whole being, the darkness of the negativity of your mind, all your attachment and neediness and depression and anger, bitterness, grudges, jealousy, instantly dispelled upon contact with the light. Not one atom left. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Siddham Shriyam Guruhum Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutta Vajra Bhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Siddham Shriyam Guruhum Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutta Vajra Bhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Siddham Shriyam Guruhum Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutta Vajra Bhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Siddham Shriyam Guruhum Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutta Vajra Bhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Siddham Shriyam Guruhum Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutta Vajra Bhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Siddham Shriyam Guruhum Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutta Vajra Bhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Siddham Shriyam Guruhum Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutta Vajra Bhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. So be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of your own suffering, our own suffering, all of our suffering, and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are totally purified. They're gone. And think there is no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and wisdom and compassion and bliss. So next is the purification of the imprints of negative energy from the mind. So imagine Guru Vajrasattva sends light and nectar. And if you wish, you can imagine the previous 3 visualizations of the body, speech and mind. If that's a bit complicated, you can just visualize light and nectar, or just light pouring into you from Guru Vajrasattva's heart. And imagine it fills you and completely eradicates even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from the mind as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Siddham Shriyam Guruhum Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutta Vajra Bhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Siddham Shriyam Guruhum Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutta Vajra Bhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Siddham Shriyam Guruhum Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutta Vajra Bhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Siddham Shriyam Guruhum Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutta Vajra Bhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta mebowa sawasidi mempe yata sawa kama sutame sudam shriyam kuruhum ha ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabhava maha samaya sattva hum pe hum Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida mebowa sutokaya mebowa supokaya mebowa Anarakta mebowa sawasidi mempe yata sawa kama sutame sudam shriyam kuruhum ha ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabhava mahasamaya sattva hum pe hum Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida mebowa sutokaya mebowa supokaya mebowa Anarakta mebowa sawasidi mempe yata sawa kama sutame Sidam shriyam kuruhum ha ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabhava mahasamaya sattva hum pe. Now feel completely purified, not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to omniscience have been removed. So finally, the power of resolve. This is the fourth step. It's the most crucial step. It's this decision to not want to harm with our body and our speech and our mind again. And it's not going to happen immediately, so we start with baby steps. So we might say, I'm not going to speak to such and such in such a kind of a manner for 30 seconds. I will refrain from doing that. I will not eat chocolate for half a day. And I think the most insidious is the way we talk to ourselves. 100 people can say to you how wonderful you are. One person expresses some doubt, and then automatically the mind goes there, and we grab onto it, and we chew on it. And before we know what, we're talking to ourselves and telling ourselves we're stupid or we can't do anything. And it's this story running in the back of the mind, constantly grinding over and over again. We really need to be a lot kinder to ourselves. So we can make a determination. We're going to start to be aware of how we speak to ourselves. Because if we're not speaking kindly to ourselves, how are we going to start speaking kindly to other people? It will make us completely nuts if we have all this negative self-talk going on inside, and then on the outside we're being sweet and kind. It just doesn't work. So we try and make a determination to be consistent with ourselves, not to harm others, not to harm ourselves. So we have other habits. We just make a promise to ourselves to try and become aware of them and to refrain from them. Just make an effort to try and avoid things that are harmful. So Guru Vajrasattva is delighted with us and wanting to merge with our mind, melts into white light, just kind of dissolves into you, absorbs into you through the crown, and think my Guru's body, speech and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech and mind, and my own body, speech and mind are the same thing. And LAMA YESHE calls this union oneness. So Lama Zopa Rinpoche recommends here to meditate on the emptiness of the three circles. In emptiness there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So at what level you understand emptiness, just try and place your mind there for a little while. And we can perhaps think of all phenomena as being empty and not existing from their own side. Perhaps we can think that maybe things don't necessarily exist the way we think they do. It's always good to think that, because when we misinterpret, for example, an email or a message, we don't know necessarily that the way we've read it is actually the way it was intended. So now, I didn't absorb. Oh dear. So imagine Guru Oh, yes, we did do that. I'm sorry. Okay, let's go to the dedication prayers. I'm a little bit all over the place, sorry. Let's dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created by doing this purification to the people of your life, by extension, all living beings, and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. For His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, to the incomparably kind Tenzin Gyatso, I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. And Lama Zopa Rinpoche, you who uphold the subduer's moral way, who serve as the bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving and spreading Manjunath's victorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplishes magnificent prayers honouring the three jewels, save for myself and others, your disciples, please, please live long. And for Lama Ursel, Venerable One, to you whose kindness exceeds that of all the conquerors, for those wanderers in far-off places, especially the West, mindful of your loving concern for us in intentionally descending again into a family of a far distant land, we make this request, O Lama, please, please live long. And for Geshe-la, beloved teacher leading your students toward wisdom and compassion, explaining through exacting discernment the steps of the graduated path, you are the unequaled guide. Please live a long and stable life. Here we go again, gone like a dream. Thank you so much, everyone. I really, really appreciate you coming along and doing this practice with me. And I love doing it with all of you. And have a safe weekend.